See, it's a way of approaching our life, to look for the good and see it, to look for the good in other people and see it, to look for the good in the world and see it. And that includes in ourselves. See, it doesn't really take any talent, to see what's wrong. And some people act like it really is like this great gift bestowed on them by God, that they can just see what's wrong with life and the world and other people. I'm here to tell you that is not a talent, okay? That's not a talent, that's just a bitch, okay? Unless you make your living as a proofreader, that skill is not going to do you that much good, okay? Many of us here know that Reverend Marck, our assistant minister here at the church, his patron saint is Barbra Streisand. And yeah, it is. And so I was on a plane recently and was selecting my movie, and they had a section of old classics. And so I selected one of Reverend Mark's favorites, Funny Girl. I had not seen it in over 40 years. Oh my God, 40 years, So anyway, there's a scene where Fanny Brice looks in the mirror, and now she is filled up. Her tank is full, she is in love. And she looks into the mirror, and what does she say? She says, "Hello, gorgeous," right? Reverend Marck said in French, it's "bonjour, beauté." Yeah. So, Paul in the Bible says, "You will be calling the things that are not as if they were." You will be calling the things that are not as if they were. Right? So, and how is that done? How is that possible? How can we call things that are not as if they were? You do it by faith. You have some faith. Maybe it's the faith that you've had healing in the past. Maybe it's the faith that there are people who love you and count on you and have some belief in you right now. Maybe it's the faith that you have in your future, that there is a possibility in the infinite mind of God that it can be better than what you're experiencing right now. That it's okay to say, I did good. It's okay to say, I'm growing. I'm a work in progress. God does in Genesis. It says again and again that God created this and said it was good. So God does something and then sits back in the church and says, God, I do nice work. This is really good. And then God creates something else and sits back and says, and saw that it was good. It was good. So it's not all perfect. I get it. But so far, so good, right? So we've got to stop with the nothing I am and the nothing I do is ever good enough. That's the line I'm hoping you've drawn in the sand. This is a story of a man who was hiking in the mountains with his young son. And as it happened, the son slid down the side of the mountain about 30 yards or so, something like that. And he was just terrified, and he's just clinging to branches and rocks on the side of the mountain, holding on, and he calls out, "Help me!" And what he hears back is, "Help me!" And he calls out, "Who are you?" And he hears back, "Who are you?" He says, "You're a fool! You're a fool! You're a coward! You're a coward!" And his dad makes his way down the mountain. He says, "Dad, who is that? Listen." His dad says, "Son, that is an echo. But really, it's called life. Listen, you're a winner. You're a winner. You're talented. You're talented. You're lovable. You're lovable. See, you've got what it takes. You've got what it takes. Son, that is how life is. Whatever you send out always comes back.